Hey everybody, welcome back. You guys know we love digging into your suggestions, and today we're diving into the flower industry.
Awesome.
Yeah, you sent us a ton of articles about flowers,
That's right.
including this really cool one from Thirst about this company called Muchflowers.
Interesting name, right?
I know. When I saw it, I was like, what is Muchflowers? We have to talk about this.
Well, their name actually says a lot about their whole story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Thirst article talks about how they picked the name like super casually,
Mhm.
like just a quick decision in a random conversation.
Wow.
And it ended up totally matching what they're all about. Much quantity, diversification, and quality.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's wild. So they just stumbled onto a branding gold mine.
Pretty much.
And that casual, straightforward style, it seems to be working for them.
Definitely.
Because they've gone from a small business to selling 7 million flower stems a year.
Yeah. That's some serious growth, especially in an industry that's been around forever.
Totally. It makes you think they must be doing something right.
For sure, they've tapped into something people want.
And they're not just focusing on roses or tulips or whatever.
Right.
The articles say they grow a crazy amount of different flowers.
28 different species, over 200 varieties.
Whoa. That's insane. That's some serious dedication to variety.
It's smart, though, because it means they're not stuck with just one type of customer or trend.
Yeah. They're appealing to everyone.
Exactly.
But out of all those flowers, there's one they seem really excited about.
You talking about the Gypsophila Grandtastic?
Yeah, that's the one. Now, I don't know much about flowers,
Sure.
but even I can tell this one's special.
Well, you have to think about it from a florist's point of view. They want flowers that are beautiful, obviously,
Of course.
but also practical.
Right.
And this Grandtastic, it checks both boxes.
How so?
First off, the vase life.
What does that mean?
So they did a test where they let customers look at different varieties for 15 days.
Wow.
And people consistently preferred the Grandtastic over others, even after all that time.
So it lasts a long time.
Exactly. It has amazing staying power,
That's a huge plus.
especially for people who want their flowers to last, you know?
Makes sense. Nobody wants a bouquet that dies after a day or two.
Yeah.
But it's not just about making customers happy, right? There's more to it.
Oh, absolutely. If a flower's delicate and breaks easily, that's a problem for florists.
Like a waste of money.
Exactly. It's waste. And with everybody talking about sustainability these days,
Yeah,
businesses have to think about that.
definitely.
So the fact that Grandtastic is tough and can handle being moved around without getting damaged, that's a big win for florists who care about the environment.
So it lasts a long time and it's good for the planet.
That's the idea.
The perfect flower.
Right. And there's more. Remember we talked about versatility?
Yeah.
Well, this Grandtastic isn't just a one-trick pony.
What do you mean?
It works in tons of different arrangements,
Oh, wow.
from simple bouquets to those fancy centerpieces you see at weddings. That makes it a really useful flower for florists who need something reliable for any occasion.
Speaking of weddings, I bet this Grandtastic is super popular for eco-conscious couples.
Oh, for sure, but here's the thing.
What's that?
With all these amazing qualities, you'd think Muchflowers would be shouting about from the rooftops trying to sell it to every florist they can find.
That's what I would do.
But they're actually being more strategic about it.
Really?
Yeah, they've chosen to partner with specific wholesalers who really believe in this flower.
That's interesting.
Instead of just flooding the market, it creates this feeling of exclusivity.
I see.
And it lets them control how people see the Grandtastic.
So they're building hype.
In a way, yeah. And by working through wholesalers, they're showing respect for the way the industry already works.
They're not trying to cut anyone out.
Exactly. They're collaborating to make sure the Grandtastic gets to the right people.
That's a smart move. So we've talked about the long vase life,
Right,
the
right.
minimal waste.
Right.
What else is making florists so excited at this Grandtastic?
Well, those are definitely the big ones. Longer vase life means happier customers, and less waste is good for the environment, and maybe even saves them money.
Yeah.
Plus, wedding season's coming up,
What?
and a flower that looks amazing and is sustainable, that's a florist's dream.
Because they found that perfect balance between business and doing good for the planet.
Right. But what I find really interesting is they're not just following the sustainability trend, they're actively pushing it forward.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. They're really understanding the bigger picture here.
Okay.
It's not just about selling flowers, it's about selling solutions.
I see.
Solutions to some of the biggest problems the flower industry's facing right now.
Like what?
Well, for one, the environmental impact of shipping flowers all over the world.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Huge. And when you look at it in that context, it shows how much the industry's changing
How so?
Consumers are getting more aware of what they're buying,
Right.
and businesses are starting to
So
listen.
they're adapting.
Exactly, we're seeing a lot more locally sourced flowers.
Makes sense.
And there's even been a comeback for dried flowers.
Really? Dried flowers, that's like something my grandma would have.
Right. But actually, they can be really cool and modern,
Mm.
and they fit perfectly with this whole sustainability thing.
Yeah, I guess they don't need water or pesticides.
Nope. And they're often easier to ship, too.
So are dried flowers making a comeback?
It's definitely something to watch.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it's not just dried flowers, right? There are other changes happening too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're seeing new packaging,
Like what?
biodegradable stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And companies are finding better ways to transport flowers.
To reduce their carbon footprint.
Exactly.
That's good to hear. It's great that all these changes are happening. But do you think there are any downsides to focusing so much on sustainability? Could it make flowers more expensive?
That's a good question. And it's true that sustainability can sometimes cost more, at least in the beginning. But as more people want sustainable products and technology gets better, we usually see those prices come down.
That makes sense.
And in the long run, a more sustainable flower industry could actually help everyone.
How?
Less waste, fewer resources used, maybe even new job opportunities.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah, I think so. It sounds like Muchflowers is really leading the way here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But with all this talk about Grandtastic, are they like forgetting about their other flower?
Not at all. They're still committed to growing lots of different varieties.
Okay, good.
And they're always coming up with new ideas to meet their customers' needs.
Remember, they have over 200 varieties.
Right. Each one's special in its own way. Grandtastic is just one part of their story.
It's impressive that they can focus on a star flower like that
Yeah.
and still keep things diverse and innovative.
It shows they have a clear vision and they really know their market.
Definitely. So we've got Muchflowers growing fast, choosing their flowers, carefully focusing on sustainability. What else is standing out to you about all of this?
Well, I keep thinking back to how they started their whole origin story.
You mean the name Muchflowers?
Exactly. The fact that they picked it so randomly in like 30 seconds, and it ended up perfectly describing their mission.
To offer much quantity, diversification, and quality.
That's it. It's just brilliant.
It shows they're not afraid to be spontaneous.
Totally.
And a little bit playful even.
Yeah, and that attitude seems to be part of their whole approach to business.
It's a good reminder that sometimes the best ideas come from unexpected places.
Definitely. And even in an industry as traditional as flowers, there's always room for creativity.
Absolutely. So what does all this mean for Muchflowers' future?
And for the flower industry in general.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's a tough one. Muchflowers seems to be doing great, growing and innovating.
Yeah.
But the flower industry as a whole, it's kind of unpredictable right now.
How so?
Well, consumer tastes are changing.
Right.
Sustainability is becoming super important, and then there's technology always shaking things up.
So it's like they're sailing into uncharted territory.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
But they do have some things going for them.
Like what?
They're really committed to quality.
Definitely.
They know their market inside and out,
Yeah.
and they're not afraid to adapt.
Plus, they have that incredible variety of flowers.
Right. It's not just about the Grandtastic. They have over 200 other types.
So many choices.
Exactly, appealing to all sorts of people and trends.
It's a real balancing act, isn't it?
Totally staying true to their values, like quality and happy customers,
Right.
but also looking ahead to what's next.
So they're not just going with the flow.
Exactly. They're anticipating the changes and trying to shape the future of the industry.
Wow, that's impressive. What do you think is the biggest takeaway from Muchflowers' success? What can other businesses learn from them?
I think it's the importance of sticking to your core values, but also being flexible and open to new ideas.
So finding that balance.
Right. Muchflowers hasn't ditched tradition. They've just found a way to make it modern.
That's really cool.
They're a perfect example of how a company can be successful and environmentally conscious.
And still offer great products and happy customers.
Exactly.
It's a great reminder that sustainability isn't just a fad.
Yeah.
It's a whole new way of thinking about business.
And Muchflowers is leading the way, showing everyone that beauty and sustainability can go together.
And that sustainability can be good for business.
Definitely. By choosing flowers like Grandtastic that are gorgeous and long-lasting, they're attracting customers who care about those values and are willing to pay for it.
That's a win-win for everyone.
Right. The customer, the florist, and the environment.
That's what makes Muchflowers so inspiring.
Uh-uh.
They're showing that sustainability can drive innovation and growth.
And create positive change, not just in their industry, but everywhere.
Wow, this has been an amazing deep dive. You've given us so much to think about.
It's been a pleasure.
It's awesome to see a company like Muchflowers changing the flower industry for the better.
Uh,
If you want to learn more about Muchflowers, we've put links to all the articles in the show notes below.
Check them out.
And as always, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What are some other ways businesses can be more sustainable without sacrificing quality or affordability? Let us know in the comments.
We love hearing your thoughts.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Muchflowers.
And the future of the flower industry.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future deep dives.
And until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.